They say I had a normal childhood, and maybe they're right. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as warm as it could have been. My mom was there, but somehow still distant. She tried. I know she did. She just didn't always know how to really see me. My dad was even further away, always somewhere between work and home, like he never fully belonged to either. I remember the moment everything started falling apart. They were going to separate, and then Livia happened, and suddenly they stayed. They tried again. I don't know if it was for each other, but I know it was for us. Livia became my whole little world, maybe even the first place where I felt like I was truly needed. School was easier because they were there, Olivia and Noah. With them, everything felt simple. Laughter came quicker, and days ended too fast. I thought it would always be like that. I remember that camp that summer when something changed. I started looking at Noah differently. I felt something I didn't know how to name yet, and I guess I never had to, because we never said anything. We just let it fade away. I started high school alone, everyone went their own way, and I was left somewhere between what was and what was about to begin. That's when I met Addison and Luke. And for a while, things felt light again. And then I fell for Luke, or at least I thought I did. It was the kind of feeling that fills everything, leaves no space for anything else. At first, it was good, really good. But then, it became harder to breathe. My last year of high school changed everything. My dad lost his job, things got heavy at home. I tried to hold everything together, but it felt like everything was slipping through my fingers. School, home, the relationship. I couldn't keep up. The only person I could still breathe around was Livia. It's funny, because it used to be me taking care of her. I started painting more, because only then did everything go quiet. Only then did it feel mine. Right before graduation, I gave Luke an ultimatum. I needed to know if any of it still meant something, and that's when everything ended. He said he didn't want to keep going. Just like that. No fight. I thought it would break me, but it didn't. I went to prom alone, and I even laughed, maybe a little for show, or maybe for real. I passed my exams, and I made a decision. I won't let someone else's choice decide my whole life. I bought a small lot on the outskirts of the city, and I left alone. Not because I wasn't scared, but because, for the first time in a long time, I wanted to find out who I am without all of them. And just like that, I'm starting a new chapter, alone. This isn't the life I've planned, but maybe it's the one I was meant to have. Because for the first time in a long time, I'm choosing myself.
Hi, welcome to the first episode of my Legacy Challenge. This series is going to be pretty loose. I'm not following strict legacy rules. The only things that matter are no cheating and making money through painting and later freelancing. Each episode is about one sim day with small goals. Today's goals are pretty simple. Make some money, meet someone, and somehow build a bathroom. Because right now, this is what we're working with. I tried to make it cozy, but if I'm being honest, it kinda looks like Shrek's bathroom. And that's not the vibe I was looking for. So Mira started her day doing absolutely nothing productive, until the game reminded me she should probably start earning money. I thought it was just a notification, but no, it was an actual interaction. So we went outside to look around, and immediately started living off the land. Collecting random things, fishing, honestly whatever we could find. We even found some food, which is great, because we also don't have a kitchen. At some point, Mira caught a flower while fishing, which I didn't even know was possible. Completely useless, but okay. After collecting a bunch of random stuff, we finally painted our first painting, which, by the way, was worth less than what we paid for it. So, yeah, great start. At this point, Mira was already having a bit of a breakdown, and instead of dealing with that, we just kept painting. We couldn't paint, so Mira spent her time meeting new people. Eventually, we realized we still couldn't afford a toilet, so we had to leave our cozy home and go somewhere else. We ended up in a library in Windenburg. Mira met the librarian and created a social media account. I didn't even tell her to do that. She just did. From the library, Mira went to the art gallery. We ran into a few people and pigeons, lots of pigeons. Hi. We looked at some art with our new friend. At least for a moment, things felt a little calmer, and we even managed to make some money from painting there. It's still not much, but Mira could have ordered herself some lunch. We went home, and that's when things started getting weird. For a moment, I really thought the tree was following me. I thought it was some kind of illusion, but no, the game is just broken. So anyway, we kept painting. We made enough money that we could spruce up our house a bit. But I didn't know walls in The Sims cost that much. That's insane. Which still looks terrible, but slightly less terrible. And then this happened. Some random guy texted her saying he got her number and that he really likes her. First of all, how? Second of all, no. Mira recently went through a really bad breakup, so I don't think she's ready for that. So we turned him down. Mira told him she was unemployed, which was totally useless information. Besides, it turns out he has a wife. So, yeah, good decision. More paintings. At this point, things couldn't get worse. And then, Mira got sick. We can't afford any treatment. A visit costs 1,500 simoleons, which is insane. So, she just has to deal with it. And even more paintings. We've made another improvement to the house. This time, we've set aside a space for a bathroom. But we still can't afford a toilet, so we had to paint even more pictures. And to make things even weirder, a random fairy showed up at our house. I thought maybe he could help, but no, he couldn't do anything. So that was useful. We were finally able to afford to buy a toilet, and while talking to the fairy, I painted a picture again. We bought a fridge, we said goodbye to the fairy, and Mira ended her day with an entry in her diary. And so, the first day came to an end. That was our first day. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't even good, but it was a start. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.